Let's clear and ground the energies. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hello and welcome to ArcanaUniverse. Let me just fix this really quick before we get started. Okay. So, this is going to be what God wants you to know right now reading. Let's get started. As a friendly reminder, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story and which side you're on. Feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel where you will find all of the readings from your tarot today, monthly and yearly readings as well. All right. So I'm picking up on a very, like, this person is, I don't want to say emotionless, but they lack like they're not emotionally available. Like they like to think things in a logical perspective, and it's like they don't really show compassion and empathy, and a part of it has to do with the fact that they are not fully developed. Like they're still growing. I'm getting immature energy, and so they've been neglecting that emotional aspect. They haven't really nurtured it, is what I'm seeing here. And so, and that's one of the reasons why they have a hard time committing, is what I'm seeing here. They have a tendency, because they don't lead with their heart and emotion, there is this like indecisiveness about them that I'm tapping into. So they like to keep their options open, or they don't like to be tied down. Again, this is somebody that is like a commitment phobe. Okay. And so I see that this energy is talking to a lot of people, trying to distract themselves, trying to I'm getting just kind of like somebody with like a net, and they're just kind of throwing it out there and then seeing what catches, what sticks, and like, but this is a recipe for disaster. Okay. So it's like God is trying to say, the more this energy continues this behavior, spreading themselves thin, talking to multiple energies about God knows what, like things that doesn't even matter. Somebody here is literally wasting their time because it's like they don't know how to invest in themselves and in others. It's just like, and as a result, they're depleting themselves because they're spreading themselves too thin. They are wasting money, is what I'm seeing here. They're wasting time, wasting money. And then they wonder, oh, how come I don't have any money in my pocket? you know? So this person is just like, you would think somebody who is not operating with emotions but thinking logically, with their mental space, would hello Audra, good AM, good early AM. So you would think somebody who's just like in their mental space would understand like this logic. But again, hello Athana, welcome back. But again, this person is not thinking, like they're not fully developed, like they're not fully mature. By the way, Athana, the last reading, or the first video that you commented on, so last night's reading, you know how you had a question and then I said, um, oh, just listen in. and then you'll get your answer, you know. Make sure you like and subscribe and all of that. And then and I said, oh, you know, maybe it will go into career. It will answer career because you had a question about your exam, right? And then if you go back to last night's reading, at the end during the closing portion, when we did a spinny spin, it did land on career. So surprise, surprise. So feel free to check that out. There may be a message in there for you, and for those who are listening as well, there may be a message that you might have missed. So feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel, and you'll see in the tarot today, it's the last live stream I did. Okay, not the short. But yeah. Well, thank God, thank God. But you know, I appreciate you. Like I know what you're saying, but yeah, you know, it's you know, mm, okay. Anyways, so as mentioned, so this person, they're depleting themselves. They are just spreading and scattering their energy and not being focused. And so they are back to their manipulative ways and tactics. Yeah, somebody here is not in a monogamous energy. And again, it's because they're not fully developed. I'm getting getting man-child. It's not gender specific, but I'm getting man-child. Okay, so somebody here, you know, looks like a man or feel like they look and seem mature on the outside, but they're a child. They're a child. Okay, so somebody has some growing up to do. Oh, thank you, Athana. So somebody here is it's straight from the shower, straight from the shower. uh, so yeah, somebody here is trying to keep their options open, trying to uh, live. I mean, there's a difference though. You know, we all have we all have an inner child, right? We all have an inner child, but we it's a balance. It's a balance. And if the if the inner child, well, it's not the true inner child. It's mixed in with ego. And so when there is ego involved, then we get a spoiled child. Okay? And so there's a difference. There's a difference. Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's like somebody here doesn't want any responsibilities. And it's they're operating out of ego and infatuation. And so it's like so I'm getting somebody here, it's they're not thinking clearly because there is an imbalance is what I'm seeing here, and also they're not making a decision. There is some sort of decision that they need to be making. Well, Asana, you know, I'm just experience. Experience. I have a feeling you're going to learn some life lessons with your current one. Okay. I have a feeling you're gonna learn some real, real life lessons. Okay. So so there is this energy of uncertainty that I'm picking up. And so when there is a lot of like fantasy and unknown, there is a tendency to be paranoid, okay? And so by somebody here keeping their options open, they're just opening up this channel to be in this devilish paranoid energy, okay? Right, right. Anything else? But the final message, okay, either whether or not you're dealing with this energy or you are this energy, okay, what it's saying is that when somebody rejects their blessings or happiness, or they have a tendency to be self sabotaging, it's part of their spiritual journey, okay? It's what you need to know at this time, okay? It's what you need. This is what you need to know at this time. So, all of my readings are technically timeless, so know that you found it at the perfect time. Um, so it's good to hear the message, and then you'll know how it applies to you in your life. You'll know, okay? So the person that is doing the self-sabotaging, keeping options open, the person dealing with that kind of energy, what they need to understand is that this is all part of the spiritual journey. And so it's going to be a significant time, like whether or not they accept it or not, even if it was rejected or even if it was accepted, there is a spiritual lesson. Okay. And so if it, what do you call it? Confirmation chime. What was that? Okay, well, great. So Athana wrote, "Well, this energy match with my best friend." Yeah, so it doesn't, you like for me, for my channel, it's not always about romance. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be romance. It could be a friendship dynamic, family dynamic, work dynamic. You'll know. You'll know. And it's usually like the first thing that comes into mind is usually that. So just trust your intuition. But yeah. So if somebody rejects a good thing, that is part of their spiritual lesson and experience. And if they end up doing the right thing and invite the connection into their life, then they will also reap the benefits and the rewards. Okay? What's any other advice or messages you want to say about that? So the final message coming through is that the person, the connection that is meant to be in the person's life, they will stick around. And if there are any conflicts or drama that happens, it's how you resolve it. You know, it's what happens from there that counts. Are they the type to communicate, talk about it, and work it out and move past it? Or are they the type to walk away, run away, stay silent, ghost the other, is not able to be mature? And are they able to reciprocate? It doesn't matter what has been done leading up to this point, all the good times and memories and all of that, because there's something to be said about consistency. Are they only there when everything is fine and dandy, if there's only fun times? But do they disappear as soon as there's a challenge, trouble? So it's not about what they say, but they will show up, okay? The person that actually wants, like, cares about the connection, they will show up. They will stay. They will try to make it work. But again, if they pull back, if they just disappear, they don't know how to talk, they don't know how to communicate, they're being disrespectful. They are, especially if there's some level of history. And so that is where that immature energy comes in, right? Are they willing to make their wrongs right? Yeah, well, doesn't well, Athana, you know, if they've always been bad all the time, then that doesn't sound like a friend. Doesn't sound like a friend, does it now? So the advice coming through is it's about self-respect, okay? If somebody is not showing you basic respect, if they are, if they're nicer to a stranger than they are to somebody that they have like a strong connection with, that is a red flag. That is a red flag. Because this is the type of person to ditch a connection for somebody they don't even know. Okay? It's like this. If like, let's say somebody goes out to a bar and stuff like that, and you arrive with like a few friends, and that's supposed to be like a time to hang out, and the person, instead of hanging out and catching up with their friends, like they're just chatting up strangers all night and neglecting their friends. Like that's not, that's disrespectful. Okay, that is disrespectful. And it's just like, or even if somebody's like out on a date, or like they're supposed to be spending quality time on a date, and all this energy is doing is hitting up a stranger, talking to them about life, and the other person is just like, WTF? Like, what is going on? So it's like there's this lack of focus, there's disrespect, and somebody here, hello, Arrow Mittens, welcome back. So somebody here is just like, this is a red flag. This is not the behavior that this energy wants. Okay? And so I see here there's going to be some level of guarding, like protecting oneself, so that they're not just pouring into an empty cup, or a cup with all of these bunch of holes, because they're neglecting the connection, and they're focusing on somebody that they're only gonna meet for one night, and then we'll never see them again. But they're pouring and giving 110% of their focus and energy to this new person, trying to show them that, oh yeah, they're very respectful, and like they're engaged, and that they're, very polite. Really? Only for them to just totally neglect who they're with. No. So somebody, if you'll know which sides you are on, and this is something, yeah, and this is something that somebody needs to, sit them down and just be like, this is a no-no. This is a no. That is disrespectful. Like, who are you trying to impress? Somebody that you're going to just meet one day and don't even see for the rest of your life, and there's no loyalty towards the person who's always been there. No, no, no. No, no, no. Okay, so this is so somebody here understands that that is a toxic behavior. And I'm kidding. Oh, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Like, it's just like there. Somebody here is not they're not thinking. They're not thinking. Oh, yeah. So I thought, I was like, why is it so accurate, right? So that's why I trust, I trust God, that whatever is meant to come out, whatever you're supposed to hear, is going to be relayed, is going to be said, So, anything else? Okay, well, that's good. For those of you who are still like, scratching their head and being like, well, what? Oh my gosh. I didn't see it like that. Or like, oh, is that what's happening? Oh my gosh, I totally do that, You'll know if you do that. Just, all you have to do is just look at the past. Have you done that? Have you done that? Or the person that you know, have they done that? Do they know? And if they don't know, share them this message. Post it on your social. If they're already social media stalking you, yeah, sure. They're going to come across it, and they're just like, oh my gosh, That's what I did. Oh my gosh, no wonder this person doesn't want me. Oh no wonder that this person thinks that, you know, they're being disrespected and they're pulling back. You know, the truth sets us free. Okay, if somebody here decides to turn a blind eye and ignore it and all of that, that's their karma. Then they're just going to be living in a lie, going in circles, doing the same thing. It's going to be Groundhog Day. You know, that's what, if that's the kind of life they want to live while being unhappy, anxiety ridden, depression, depleting their finances because they're trying to impress people that doesn't even matter and spending willy-nilly and not investing in themselves and what they truly find of value. Okay, so this, it's supposed to help this energy. And if the person listening in, you know, is dealing with somebody like this, it's also for them to understand what they're dealing with. Okay, and so it's all about self-respect. What And if we don't have self-respect, that means we are letting other people abuse us. Okay, and that is in a sense self-sabotaging too, because there's an extent we can give people chances, but there is an extent to how many chances we can give, because they will take advantage of it if we don't stand up for ourselves. Oh, Mathana wrote, well, I'm very grateful that I found your channel, honestly. Oh, thank you. I think, like, you know, it was no coincidence. Everybody coming in here, watching, you know, my channel and connecting with me, I am a firm believer that it's because they trusted their intuition. Because, you know, as you know, YouTube, like, there's plenty of content, millions, you know, countless streams. And here we are. You're here. You're here listening in. You made it. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so let's go ahead and wrap up this reading with a spinny spin. Okay. With a spinny spin. So, God, any final messages you want to say for this dream? One and a two and a self. Oh, your higher self wants to have a chit chat, or somebody's higher self wants to. uh, all right. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, so I'm getting. So there's this like immature energy that I'm picking up. Oh. So there's this immature energy that I'm picking up, and they understand that they met somebody that really makes them see things in a different light. Like it's almost like they found somebody like their soulmate. Okay, somebody here feels like they found their soulmate, somebody that like compliments them and like really brings out the best out of them. Okay, so this may be, you know, as mentioned, it could be somebody that is still growing. Okay, oh, so this is somebody that is kind of still growing, learning, experiencing things. They may not have a lot of um like they do have some level of learning to do, and they're connecting with somebody that feels like a soulmate. Okay, and soulmate, or like it doesn't have to be, you know, always like romance. It could be romance, um but it's just like the soul tie of a connection where it just feels like it just, they bring out the best in each other. And it's almost like when they're together, or when they're interacting, or they're in this person's presence, there is this feeling of success. Okay? Yeah, there's this feeling of like the sky's the limit and there's nothing we can't achieve. And so the higher self really wants to say, we have to be, there's something about being strategic. Okay? So if somebody here is wanting to expand this connection and really like grow with this person, then they really have to put in the work. But it doesn't feel like a burdening kind of work. It feels like somebody here leveling up. Like they're motivated, they're inspired because they understand that by being with this energy, like the soulmate kind of connection, it's rewarding. It's like they don't lose. Yeah, they don't lose. It's just like what they give, they receive back. It feels very reciprocal. And it also is talking about how like the energy exchange between these two energies, it's like it's very transmuting as well. So it has a healing essence to it. And so somebody here feels kind of like they're on top of the world, okay? Oh, oh, Audra, yeah. Let's, let's transmute and like let's heal. Let's heal. And this channel is all about, letting go and working through and healing from traumas and past toxic energies, whether it was, others or self-limiting, you know. Okay, so Santos or Santoso. Okay. No, no, no. Okay. Okay. So I don't want any troll-like behaviors. I have a moderator in here. Okay. I don't want you to get timed out now, do we? So either, you come in here with respect and politeness, or you're going to get the boot. So don't test us. Don't test us. Okay? All right. Hmm. Some people get it, some people don't. And I like to lead by example. Hmm? you know, I I was just like, I'm a little stricter. I'm a little stricter. Yeah. yeah. Oh, yeah, we don't tolerate that here. So, I'm getting somebody here kind of feels like, oh, I know, but it's just what can we do? What can we do? And so I do sense here somebody here feels very, they're beginning to like gain confidence. They feel on top of the world because they feel like the support and something about there's a very like generous person that I'm picking up, and they have a very like selfless energy about them. And so they may have a tendency to like either volunteer or like just be giving of their time and energy, and it's ultimately to help others. You know, oh. And so this energy is going like through, it's like something about the way they communicate as well, like the way they, oh, the way they communicate, the way that they carry themselves. It's very inviting and warm, and it's like they really, even like the way they speak and what they say, it just it feels it feels like they're healing. It's like they're the way that they what they say and their energy in itself, it helps others. Yeah. It helps, and it helps them also like let go of burdens and past traumas, or at least like try to work through it. Because I do sense here there is like heartbreak and betrayal, and somebody here is traumatized. They are traumatized, and it's to the point it's affecting their current and future connections as well. Oh. It's talking about having, it's giving like soul family vibes. Okay? Something about like somebody really actually cares. And it's not like hand holding them through everything. Like they also give them the space and freedom to improve themselves. So it's not somebody who is just like, oh, here, I'm going to heal you. You don't have to do anything. No, it's not that. But it's just like something that they say, and how they say it is very inspiring, and they lead by example, and but they also do it with grace. Okay? Oh. Okay. So I am picking up on somebody that so I'm picking up on somebody that has a lot of love for this energy, that is very selfless. And but they move like they want their, oh, thank you, Athana. um so this person okay, so okay, okay, right, because you know this is all about we reveal truths here, okay? And what I'm picking up is that I'm getting like an admirer. Okay, so somebody here has really like has a lot of like love and admiration for this person who is like selfless and is giving their time to like help others and to heal others, and so this person who's admiring, even though they have this like impulsiveness about them, they also have a tendency to move slow. And it's like they want to show support. They want to show that they care. But it's like they can't. Like they can't be honest. It's like somebody here can't be honest. And so they are showing and sharing love the best way they can, like the best they can. Yeah, the best way that they can. Because they can't be in this person's life, like physically. So they do what they can to show support and love. I'm just getting it in an indirect way, okay? Something about like there is distance and all of that, and they care. Somebody wants a fresh new beginning, and they want to right their wrongs, and they're trying to show up and be there the best way they can, even though it may not be in the physical. I keep getting some. Yeah, I knew this was gonna come. I knew it. I was just like, I know it's there. I know. Okay, so somebody here is pretending to be somebody else. Okay, but it's giving. Okay. How am I gonna explain this? Okay. So somebody here is pretending to be somebody else because they know it's like they want to give love to them like so bad, and they want to still be in their life so bad because they have a lot of like love and care and admiration, that they're willing to pretend to be somebody else just so that they can just spend the time together. So somebody here is like pretending to be somebody else, but like, you know how like in like, you know, most of these readings, when somebody pretends to be somebody they're not, it's like because like, oh, they're trying to be like sneaky and like play the field, and there's a liar and a cheater and stuff like that. But it's like this person, they're like pretending to be somebody they're not, to get closer to somebody. Okay, what's the advice? Saying stop with the BS, just come forward. Okay? Just come forward. So somebody here like still cares. They have like so much love, and they're even willing to pretend to be somebody else just so that they can be close to them in some shape or form. Like I'm getting like an example would be like somebody creates like a whole new profile or something like that, like just so that they can talk to this person or be in their energy somehow. because they do care. They do care. I do sense love. Okay. And the person who's resonating with this, they're like, oh shoot, she knows. How does she know? No, they're all freaking out. Relax. Relax. Okay. What did you expect? What did you expect? You didn't think I wasn't gonna find out? So what is usually the message, you know? Be honest. The truth is supposed to set you free. And like, and even though there is a lot of like anxiety and defensiveness, I see here at the root of it's because there is love and respect. So stop with the playing, take off the mask. Okay, because this is just drama, really. It's just drama. Like I like that. I mean, not I don't want to say like, but somebody here, as mentioned, I was getting that strategic energy. Somebody here is like trying to find a way to get back into somebody's life without fully being themselves still, without still not being themselves. They're still holding up a mask, still pretending to be somebody they're not. So that is something we need to walk away from, okay? It's like we need to stand up, work on standing up, finding courage. And that is going to be how this person is going to be able to stand in their power and be in this emotional happiness. And now this person who's doing that has a choice, okay? Now they have come to a crossroad, right? They can either choose to continue what they're doing, living a lie. I don't care what the intentions are. They are living a lie, pretending. Or they can do a 180, stop with the ego-driven actions, okay? Leading with fear. And they actually need to, yeah, the other being, they need to like be honest, live authentically. And for those who are like, oh, I don't know Arcana, I don't know if I can do it, you know, I don't know if I can stop the lying and stop the, you know, doing things out of fear, you know, I don't know if I can do that. Sure you can. What? Sure you can. Come on. Come on. And it's going to be so fulfilling. It's going to be liberating. If somebody here was always so like concerned about having their freedom and doing, you know, living authentically and stuff like that, like that's what it is. Like a true freedom is living authentically. Because you can't be free if you're living a lie. You're already bound and chained to ego, devilish behaviors. You're not free. This person's not free. So if this person truly wants freedom, healthy love and reciprocation, They need to be honest and do things with integrity, because when they start doing that, their world is going to change. They're gonna be so happy. Like, I sense so much love. Like, the sky is the limit. Like, this person who is pretending to be somebody they're not, I see that, like, they have this whole life just waiting for them, like this abundant, happy life. Oh, getting goosebumps, you guys. They're gonna be like so happy. Somebody here is going to be so happy. They're gonna be grinning from ear to ear. Like, I tears of joy coming in, because there's so much like love and the possibility for such amazing, true, genuine happiness, and all of that is just on the other side of the door that somebody is so scared to walk through. But they can't walk through it until they're honest, living in truth, living with integrity. So somebody here is spooked. They're spooked. Hey, but that just means they're not ready. They're not ready. When they're ready to face the truth, then they're ready. But there's something to be said about, when people take a leap of faith. It's giving the bird example. You know how, like, when a bird, takes that first jump out of their nest, that first flight for the first time, yes. There's that fear and that scare energy where it's just like, what if I can't fly? But it's just like, they forget you're a bird. You're a bird. You're meant to fly. You're meant to fly. And so not everybody. I see here that some people, they're just gonna stay in the nest. Some people just stay in the nest. They never take that leap, that jump, because they're too scared. There are people like that. And those people, that's how they end up in depression, sadness, anxiousness, anxiety, because they know their soul, their higher self is just like, it's like, bruh, take a leap, take a leap. Oh, that is such a beautiful message, higher self. That is such a beautiful message. Okay. Any final thing you want to say? I see here, you know, when this person actually makes that leap, the person that they've been like wanting or wanting to like be in their energy, they're going to be there with open arms. Only if they've actually done the work. And I see here that somebody still is holding on to some devilish behaviors. Okay? And so until they are fully able to be honest with themselves and with others, until that happens, they're just going to be self-sabotaging and not making a move and being stuck and being in chaos. So somebody here is going to have to open up a little emotionally. That's exactly how we started out the reading. I was picking up on an energy who was afraid to open up emotionally because they didn't want to be vulnerable. And that's the reason why they're still hiding. They're still pretending to be somebody else. It's like it's like they can love when they know they're not being watched, or they know it's not coming from them, or it's like, you know, they need to build up a little bit more confidence. Yeah, any new beginning, really, we need to take that leap of faith. Yeah, so that was the message. Okay, beautiful message. If you would like to hear this video again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, you know, for those of you who are in here, like, it is no coincidence. And I'm so glad to have you guys, and thank you. And like, and being able to be in this journey together, right? And you know, I'm a firm believer. You never know. We may cross paths. We may cross paths. I mean, we already crossed paths in this way, right? And so, anyways, all right. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in, for your wonderful, beautiful comments. Thank you to my moderator, and for, you know, for everybody who tuned in and gave this a thumbs up, subscribed, all of that. Yeah. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel for the other readings from your tarot todays, monthly and yearly readings as well. And yeah. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Have a great one.